Hello everyone, my name is Quinn West, and today I'm going to be going over cube synchronization. This is a boss module which involves different rotations and transformations of a cube. Before we do anything, I want to start off by talking about this net. So this module will use the rotations of the cube, and you can use this net, but personally I'm going to use a physical prop. So what I've just got here is I just have like a Rubik's Cube and I've just put like post-its on each sides of it. So this is what you want to do if you want to have a physical prop, otherwise you can probably do the same thing in Notepad. Anyway, so you want to have a 4 on the front face, a 6 up top, 2 on the right, 3 on the left, 5 on the back, and 1 on the bottom. So, let's look at the information. So initially, the module is not going to display anything, but upon solving a module, it's going to flash your information. In this case, it's going to be a blue arrow, a blue number at the top left, an arrow at the bottom left, and a red number at the bottom right. The arrow indicates the direction in which to tilt the cube. The red number will be which face everything's written on, and the blue number is just a number to calculate at the end. So, let's write down our information. We have 45, left 5. We have 42, up 1, and it's spinning counterclockwise. We have 31, right 3, and it's spinning counterclockwise. We have 33, right 4. So, you're going to want to try and imagine that each of these are written on the inside of these faces of the cube. So for example, the first one we have is 45 left and 5. So if this was the 5, we want to imagine like on the inside of this cube, which I can't show you, that we'd have 45, we'd have the 45 at the top, a left arrow at the bottom, and a 5 on the bottom right, assuming that we're seeing it from this side. On the outside, you're going to have the same thing, except the number will be tripled. So on the inside of this cube, you'd imagine like a 45 is written inside, and on the outside, you'd have that number tripled. The reason why we're tripling it is because on the outer side, right here, the opposite of the given moves, and the blue number multiplied by 2, 2 plus the green number. So the green number on this module is 1, add 2 to it, we get 3. So, that's what we want to write on the outside. If Twitch Play is active, it's going to be the ID of the module instead. But we're not using Twitch Plays, so we don't need to worry about that. Now, we need to apply these transformations to this cube. So, in order to find out how many times we have to transform this cube, you take the number of solved, not-ignored modules, in this case, or also as the stage number, and multiply it by whichever one comes out of these rules. So, is Twitch Plays and Tweaks present? No. Is only Twitch Plays present? No. Is only Tweaks present and Time Mode is present? No. Otherwise, we're just using 3. So we're going to do 3 times stage number transformations. So, let's start with that. So we're looking at this 4 here. So in our notes, it's going to say right, but that's because it's written on the inside of the cube. So if we were looking at the outside of the cube, we're actually going to do the opposite. So instead of tipping the cube right like this, we're going to tip the cube left. So that's 1 transformation. Now we have a 2. There's nothing on this 2, so instead we're going to try and look through the cube, also known as just what's written on the inside of this 3. We do have a 3, and it tells us to go counterclockwise and right. You're going to want to do the transformation before the tipping of the cube. Also, a rotation before the tipping of the cube. And a rotation will not count towards a transformation. So you can go counterclockwise and like right, for example. That's 1 transformation. So let's do that. So we're going to go counterclockwise, and we're going to tip the cube right. That's 2 transformations. Next, we have a 6. So the 6, there's nothing on it. So on the back is a 1, so we're looking through the cube, and we're going to see what's written on the inside of the 1, which is right here. So we're going to tilt the cube counterclockwise, then tip the cube up. And now we end up with the front face being 3. So, 3 has a number on it, right here, which is what we wrote down. And because we're looking at the outside of the cube, we're going to take that number tripled. So, for this stage, the number we have to input is 93. 93 like that. So, let's solve another module. 47 up 3. 34 left 4 and clockwise. 32 up and 5. And 36 left and 6. So, let's start again. We're always going to start with 4 in the front and 6 up top. So, face 4. Because we're looking at the outside, and this is what's written on the inside right here, we're going to do the opposite of what we have. So instead of going counterclockwise left, we're going to go, or instead of going clockwise left, we're going to go counterclockwise and then tip right. So that's the first transformation. And this time we have to do 6 of them because it's 3 times stage number, which is 3 times 2, which is 6. Second transformation. It's a 6. It tells us to tip left, but that's written on the inside, so instead we tip right. That's the second transformation. 5, it says up on there, but instead we tip down, which is like this. And now we have a 2. 2 doesn't have an transformation on it, so we look through the cube. In this case, the back is a 3, so we're looking at what's written on the inside of the 3, which in this case is an up, so we're going to tilt the cube up. Now we have a 5. 5 tells us up, but we have to do the opposite, so we tip it down. And the 2, don't have a 2, so we look at the back. 3 tells us to go up. So that's our 6 transformations, and we're looking at phase 5. We're looking at the outside of phase 5, so we're going to take this 32 and multiply it by 3, which I don't know off the top of my head. It's 96. So stage 2, we have 96. Now, let's do stage 3. 32, right 5. 45, left 3. 30, up 6 with a clockwise rotation. And 50, down 1. Okay, so now we're on stage 3, so we have to do 9 different transformations. So we start on phase 4. Nothing at phase 4. We look through the cube onto the inside of phase 5, which tells us to tip right. Now I have a 3, which on the inside says left, so this time we're going to tip right again. 5 tells us to tip right, so we tip left. 3 is going to tell us to tip left, so we go right. And now we're actually kind of in an infinite loop. So we have like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now we're looking at phase 3. So phase 3, we're looking at the outside of it, which means this is the number tripled of the inside. So 45 times 3 is 135. That's what we have for stage 3. And now for stage 4, we're going to have 12 different transformations to apply. 43, left 6. 47, left 5 with counterclockwise. 39, right 4 counterclockwise. And 40, left 2. So, 12 transformations now. And now it's expecting input. But we're not going to input yet because we need to do the last stage. So we start at 4. 4 tells us the inside's counterclockwise right, so we're going to do the opposite. We're going to do clockwise, tip left, which is 6. 6 tells us to tip left, so we go right. 4 tells us to go counterclockwise right, so we do clockwise, tip left. 3 doesn't exist, so we do what's written on the through the cube, through the 2, which tells us to tip left. 5, we're going to do the opposite, so it's clockwise and tip right. 6, we're going to tip right because it's the opposite of left. 4, we're going to do clockwise and tip left. 3, we're going to tip left because through the cube is the 2. 5 is going to be clockwise and right. I don't know how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've done 9 so far. So 6 is going to say left, so we tip it right because it's on the inside. 4, we're going to do clockwise, tip left. And 3, we look through the cube and we tip the cube left. So now we're at phase 5. We do have a 5. We do have a number on this phase, so we're going to take that number tripled. So 47 times 3, which I don't know, is going to be 141. So this is all the information that we have for the input, and we're also going to input the green number at the end. So let's input this. 93, 96, 135, 141, and then the green number at the end. So that's cube synchronization. A few things that I actually didn't get to mention. So in the case that you have, let's say that there's nothing written on the 4 and there's also nothing written on the 5. So if we, I don't know, I'm just gonna arbitrarily put like a 3 and like a 1 here. So there's nothing on the 4, and if we look through the cube, there's nothing on the 5 either. So instead, we tip the cube downwards, which is said right here. If face is not filled, you face the back side of the opposite face. If there's still no face, you tip it downwards. So that's what would happen. So if you have any questions, please post them in the comments, and thank you for watching.